Hello, good morning. Welcome back to Yarn Tea and Books with Frogget Yarns. My name is Tasha, and along with my husband, Mr. Frogget, we are the humans behind Frogget Yarns, hand-dyed yarns, and mobile yarn truck. Welcome back in. It's another week. It's a dreary, rainy day here today. So a bit of a change of location because we just moved some things around the house, and I thought I wanted to be cozy on the sofa since it's now in this room. And yeah, so we're sitting over here today. Usually we sit behind you at my craft desk, but today we're going to try this. In this week's episode, let me find my notes. We're gonna reveal April's club color, April's Lilypad club color. I have brought a Wip back out of kind of hibernation, and I am working on that. There's a little bit of shop news, nothing major, and a pretty good book chat. It was a good reading week. So settle on in, grab your favorite mug. For Mug Watch this week, we do have a new mug, and you just saw me in the opening clip make this cup of tea. This is my favorite chai blend. I get it from Adagio. It's a white Ayurvedic chai, I can never pronounce that, mixed with a samurai mate chai. So the caffeine is all natural because the mate isn't herbal, but it's really good. But this week's mug was a birthday present from my dear friend Robin. She is the Yarnbirds truck out of Columbus, Ohio, and we do quite a few shows together throughout the year. And she had this made, this little frog reading his book, and she got my name on it. The inside is pink, and I absolutely love it. So thank you, Robin. I love my mug so much. And yeah, grab your favorite mug and your favorite drink, and let's get into it. I'm going to put that down because it is very hot. Okay, so let me get comfy here. Try out this new spot. So what are we going to talk about this week? That was Mug Watch. Let's move into finished objects. The only finished object I have is my granny square, my April granny square. So this will reveal the club color for April, and our book for April is Phantasma. So here is my finished granny square. She's all done. So this was the main color. The black was the mini. And then this is winter white. This is what I'm edging all of my granny squares in. So there she is. She's all done. And she will go in the basket with the first three. And when I have three more, I will join them all together and make another strip for the blanket. So that is that. So here is the color. So this was Phantasma, our April Lilypad color. That was DK. Here it is on fingering. Always looks a bit different on fingering because of the nylon. And then it came, if you ordered a set, it came with a black mini. So that was April. I've gotten lots of feedback on it. Everyone seems to love it. So I'm happy about that. So that's it for finished objects. I have not finished anything else, to be honest. I did pull, oh, you know what? I left my whips in the other room. Okay, I'm back. I did pull an old, well, not an old whip, just one I haven't worked on in a while. I was kind of bored with my Douglas Cardi, and I wasn't feeling very inspired to work on my shawl design. So I pulled out my Almue shawl. What am I connected to? Pink. So this is a shawl by Camilla. And I've shown this before on the podcast. I just haven't shown it in a while. This was a sample that we had in the truck on our old sport weight base. So our original sport weight base that we had in the truck was 100% non-superwash merino, and it just didn't sell. So we switched it out for an 80-20 superwash merino nylon, because a lot of people like to make sport weight socks, so they want that nylon in there for the durability. So this is what I've got so far. I was here the last time I picked it up, and so I did all of this in the last few days. So it goes like this. This is the top edge, and it's getting quite big. This is a nice shawl because you can make it as big as or as small as you want. Like if that's all you wanted was a little, you know, spring kerchief style, you could totally stop there and just have it as, you know, a nice spring little wrap around your neck. I plan to make it full size, the size that's called for in the pattern, which I think is 21 or 22 of these, like your separating stripes. So I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 13 of those. So I'm over halfway. It is a nice big shawl when it's done. So I am using our Merino Sport. It's an 80-20 superwash merino and nylon, and I am using our pumpkin spice breakdown color set. And so that is, we had a pumpkin spice latte color, and I wanted tonals to go with it. So I just took the colors that I used in the multi-color skein and reworked them to be tonals so that you could use them together. So we have pumpkin cream cold foam. We have pumpkin. We have the color that I'm currently attached to, terracotta. We have mochaccino. And we have dark roast. So those are my 5 colors, and this has just been really nice to work on because it's all garter stitch, and then every so often you do this row of eyelets, and it's super easy. So that's just what my brain wanted. And like I said, I haven't touched the cardigan, I haven't touched my other shawl, and that's okay. I got a lot of work done on that. The other thing I pulled out was my February Christmas socks. So if you're new here, I set myself up this year to do my own sock club, and I have so much sock yarn in Christmas colors that I want a full box of Christmas socks. So Mr. Frogget helped me package up in 12 bags, 12 different skeins of Christmas sock yarn. And supposedly I was going to make a pair of socks a month. We'll see. So this is still February's. I am on the foot. I am 10, 20, 30, 40 rounds into the foot. So I only have 20 more rounds before the toe, and it'll be done. The other one is done. So that'll be done. I have not even touched March's, sadly. That's okay. That's okay. I do still want to crank them on the sock machine just because I think that'll be faster. But again, I'm working on a tube that he did crank. So I already did one from the tube. I added the cuff, the heel, and the toe. And I started the other one. So I've got the toe going there. I've marked off my rounds and where I want to pop in my heel. I think my problem is I find that very fiddly. Yeah, I find that very fiddly, and pulling out the rounds and picking everything up and making sure you've not picked something up wrong or back. I always pick up my stitches backwards, so I always have to then go through and like turn them all around. I don't know. I find it, I think, more fiddly than just knitting the darn sock and adding, you know, the heel as I get to it, then it's done. I don't have to pick anything up because I do a short row heel. So I don't know. It would definitely get them done faster, but would it if I'm not working on them? I don't know. Anyway, there's February socks. This is Holly Press Fibers. Let's see if I have, yeah, Holly Press Fibers. This is North Pole Flurry. And this is on her, she doesn't have a name for the base, but it is an 80% superwash merino wool, 10 cashmere, 10 nylon. So it's an MCN. There's all of her stuff. Holly Press Fibers. I will link her below. I don't know if she still makes this color. This was bought years ago. So we'll see. I'm just plugging along. If I don't get 12 pairs of socks done this year, guess what? No big deal. In that same vein, though, we're going to open April's because I have it. It's April. Oh, and this one I do love. Okay. This is Rose Hill Yarns. And this is her Holiday Peppermint set. Oh, I love this one. So this is fingering weight 75-25 with a 20-gram mini. Oh, look at that. That's gorgeous. Okay, that's fun. That might jump ahead of March's. I don't know. There's no pressure. There's absolutely no pressure for me to do this. It's all pressure on myself. But that is it for whips, right? I opened up, oh, yeah. The last thing to talk about in whips is this sweater. Many, many years ago, I made this sweater. I don't know. Oh, look at that. I did not do well with this. This is the Lighthouse cardigan. It is from Making Number 9. And from what I can tell, this was published in 2020, this issue. There's no dates on the fronts. This was number 9, which they called Simple. I have all of the Making books. And I remember casting this on when it came out. So there's the model. Beautiful. I love this. This was made in Pearl Soho's, what's it called? Lantern, which was a cotton linen blend. Now, the reason I bring this up, I love this sweater. I love it, especially in the spring and summer, because I can wear it in, like in the house with the air conditioning on if I get a chill, but it doesn't make me warm, doesn't make me extra warm. I liked the yarn when I used it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see. It's very thick and thin. So the pattern calls for worsted weight. And that's what this is. And obviously it doesn't really matter if it's, you know, see-through, but it's very textural. And I kind of want to remake this sweater. I love, love this sweater. I wear it all the time. It's got super long sleeves. So it goes from garter. There's a panel down like the top of the sleeve that is stockinette. And then the cuffs switch to stockinette. Very simple. The construction is great. I loved making this. I made this pretty much the year that this came out. So 2020. I would love to remake it in a yarn that is maybe not so textural. I don't want to say it's not soft. It's cotton linen, right? It gets softer every time you wear it or wash it. but I kind of want to redo it. This is done in like a dusty pink. So I kind of want to redo it in like a nice silver, light silver, like silver gray. And I'd really, and I hate to say this because the stash is terrible, but I really would love to make it in Magpie Fibers Equinox worsted. And I do live close enough to their flagship store in Frederick that I could go down there, pick out my colors, and make a new one. My problem with that is I look at that stash and I think, clearly there's something wrong with you to buy yarn. But here's the thing, I don't buy plant-based fibers. When I buy yarn, it's wool. So I don't even have an option for a, you know, a more summery blend. The Equinox is 65% silk with 35% linen. It's got to feel amazing. With all that silk and linen, it would just be the, you know, the drapiest. I think it would just make such a beautiful sweater. I wear this all the time. So yeah, that's just me thinking I'd love a new updated version of this because I did make this when it came out. I had a lot of fun making it. It's a very cool construction. It's knit from the bottom up, but I love the detail. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. This like detail that goes the whole way down and it's on the front. And I love the little shawl collar. I'd put it on, but I'm in the middle of a heat flash. So that's just me thinking about a future whip. Seriously, I need to fix some things. Like there's a hole there. But yeah, that's the Lighthouse cardigan. Making number 9. If you have that, it is available now. I did check. It's available as just a single pattern. So you don't need to buy the whole book because these are out of print. You can just buy this pattern and I will link it below. So that is it for whips. Yeah, that's it for whips. So shop news. What have we been doing? Well, right before we left for Nashville for Nash Yarn Fest, we got a wholesale order from one of our favorite local yarn shops, You and Me York. We love Joan. She stocks our yarn and she wanted a refreshed color palette. So it was Dyer's Choice. And so we've been working on that because when we got back from Nash, I was sick. So it pushed everything back. So we finished that up yesterday. Yes, yesterday. It's all packed. We will deliver that this weekend to Joan. And she'll have a fresh color palette of yarn from us. New colors that she's never had. Tonals, speckles, variegateds, you name it, she's getting it. So if you live local and You and Me is one of your shops, go see her this weekend. She'll have a fresh, new big batch of yarn. She's got 2 big boxes over in my office that we're going to deliver. So we've been working on that. That has been keeping us very busy. We revealed April's club color. That has been mailed. That has been received. We do have 3 skeins. This is it. I have a skein of merino fingering. I have a skein of, this is actually the worsted, merino worsted. And I have a skein of merino DK and minis. So if you want to tack your mini on, I did not list them as full sets. I listed them as single skeins with the option to tack on a mini if you want it. That's it. There's 3. They're ready to ship. They're ready to go. I also have 5 of the book charms left. The Phantasma book charms. Of course, I don't have mine here. I've showed it before. I'll pop a picture in right here of the Phantasma book charm. I am actually shocked that they did not sell out. I thought for sure they would sell out instantly because March's sold out so quick that I had to add more. So I kept the same number of extras for April and I still have 5 left. So they're there. If you just want a charm, they're in the shop. You can get just a charm. So that's it. When it's gone, it's gone. You can also get our club yarn at 4 different shops. So the first one is You and Me York in York, Pennsylvania. The second one is String Theory Yarn Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. You can also get it at the Salty Sheep Yarn Shop in Swansboro, North Carolina, and Oak City Fibers in, I think he's in Raleigh, North Carolina. They all get club yarn in some way, shape, or form. It's not always the same. But yeah, you can check them out, see if they have any left. It goes pretty quick for them. So yeah, if you're local to any of them, go grab it from them. If not, I've got a few in the shop, but they won't be dyed anymore. Our next show, and I said this last week, but just a reminder, our next show coming up is April 26th. It's the Frederick Fiber Fest. It's the spring Frederick Fiber Fest. They do 2 a year. They do a spring and a fall. And we will be there with the trailer. It is Saturday, April 26th from 9 to 4. It's a free event. You can register ahead of time or register when you get there because they give away a bunch of prizes throughout the day. So that is where we'll be next. We are, now that the wholesale order is done, we are prepping the trailer, filling in, you know, what needs re-dyed after Nashville. So that is the job for next week. Today is actually, it's Thursday, April 3rd when I'm recording. It is mine and Mr. Froggett's 32nd wedding anniversary. So once I'm done this and he gets home, he is down at his mom's this morning, helping her out a little bit. We'll do some celebrating. I don't know what we're gonna do. It's rainy and dreary, but we'll definitely go out for dinner. We have plans to go to our favorite local ice cream shop later on this evening. They just opened like 2 days ago. They're only open for the season and we love to go there. They have the best soft ice cream and the best peanut butter soft ice cream. So I'm excited about that. I don't know what else we'll get up to. We've already exchanged gifts. I got him some bamboo button-down shirts for the summer, and he treated me to an advent calendar from a homespun house. It's one that I've wanted for years and years. I'm always jealous when I see, not jealous, but when I see other YouTubers like during Vlogmas and they've gotten Molly's calendar and they're opening it up, and I'm always like, oh, one of these years. And this year he said, you know what? I can get you that calendar for our anniversary if you really want it, and then you'll finally have one. So I won't have it till November, but that's okay. I'm a big girl. So all of that, that's it. That's shop news. So let's move on to book chat. For book chat, I finished Goldfinch. Goldfinch was my audiobook. It is by Raven Kennedy, and it is the Plated Prisoner series. This is book 6. There are 6 books. And you guys, I know last week I said I had about 5 hours left. I think for 3 of those 5 hours, this book had me in tears. It just had me in tears. If you have not read this series, I urge you to read it. Check your trigger warnings. There's a few things that, you know, may not sit well. It is spicy. It's not super graphic, but it is spicy. But it is so good. The storyline, the character arcs, it's so good. And like I said, for I think at least 3 of the 5 last hours of this book, I cried. So I finished that. I was also, I think at about, I don't know, 25% of The Ever King by L.J. Andrews. I finished this. I finished it. I was reading this on my Kindle, and I have a little wireless page turner, like ring thing. So I hooked the transmitter on my Kindle, and I can put the ring on my finger, and as I'm knitting and I've got my Kindle beside me, I can just click that button to change pages. So this shawl was perfect because I don't have to really look at it. It's all, you know, garter stitch except for that one row. And so I was able to just breeze through this. Definitely check your trigger warnings for this. They are listed in the front, but yeah, I would definitely check those. But if you want a pirate fairy story, because this is it's between Earth Fae and Sea Fae, and oh, so good. I've already started book 2, which is The Ever Queen, and I have to update my physical copy. I'm reading this on my Kindle as well, but I'm like almost 70% through this. So I finished The Ever King. Let me just pull out my reading journal here. I finished The Ever King on March 30th. Immediately started The Ever Queen, book 2, because it ended on such a cliffhanger. And I'm at 70% finished with The Ever Queen. So I will finish that in the next day or two. It's so good. I know there's a third one called The Mist Thief. I don't know if it continues this story, the main characters in this story. I think it's like a spin-off from one of the characters from this story gets their own. So I don't know if this is just a duology, if there are plans for there to be any more, but this is an amazing 2 books. So again, check your trigger warnings. This one is very spicy. So if you like that kind of thing, yeah, get you a fairy pirate because it's good. Since I finished Goldfinch on my audio, I started Phantasma. I am to about chapter 18 of Phantasma. I am listening to it. I wanted to listen to it because Laura Harowitz, she's a book narrator. I think the book, I know last week I said I thought it won like book of the year for audio. I don't know if it won, but it was definitely nominated. So yeah, don't quote me on that, but it's very good narration. I love the way that she reads it. I love the way that she's portraying the story. Very good. I'm having a good time reading Phantasma. Yeah, so I started Phantasma. I started The Ever Queen. My April TBR then, besides Phantasma and The Ever Queen, the other 2 that I would like to read this month are The Whisper Wicks. This is a middle grade book that I picked up a couple weeks ago. And I also want to read See You at the Altar. I've been reading this series now. This is the 3rd book. This is just a cozy fantasy. And I love these. These are just fun, quick reads. And I have a good time with these. So that's the other 2 that I'd like to get read this month. And if I finish those, I'll definitely find others I can read. So I know last week there was a book haul for my birthday. We had to run a few errands. So the main book that I really wanted when I went to the bookstore for my birthday with Mr. Froggett was the new Hunger Games book. They didn't have it. I asked, and she said as soon as they get their shipments in and they put them out, they're gone. Which really shocked me because I didn't think this was going to be as big of a release, I guess. Anyway, it's Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I've read all the other books in this series. This is Haymitch's story. And even though we know how Haymitch's story ends, if you've seen or read The Hunger Games, you know. But I'm excited to read his story from his perspective. So we were out running errands and we stopped in picking up a few things, and I was able to get this. While we were there, this was a different bookstore in Hanover. While we were there, of course, I'm not just going to walk out with one book. I grabbed the other book by Kelly Barnhill, The Ogress and the Orphans. She is the author of The Girl Who Drank the Moon, and I loved that. So I picked up, this is her newest release, I think. I think this was published in 23 or 24. I think she has one other book out. Oh no, she has a couple. Yeah, 2023. So I wanted to read that, so I grabbed that. One of you actually left in the comments a couple weeks ago that I should check out The Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco. I probably butchered that. Anyway, so I grabbed that. I also grabbed Sunrise on the Reaping. I also grabbed A Tale of Sorcery by Chris Colfer. This is the third book in the Tale of Magic series. So they had that. And then the last one I grabbed was this one called Dragon Slippers. And this one just looked fun and cute. And then we were still running errands. I think it was the next day or something. And I was looking at books again, and Mr. Froggett said, you might as well just get them. I think it was buy two, get one free. And I'm not going to pass that up. So I did. I bought two, got one free. The first one I bought was The Ragpicker King by Cassandra Clare. This is the second in her new series. The first one was Swordcatcher, which I showed you last week. Like I said last week, Cassandra Clare is an auto buy for me. No thanks, Siri. Cassandra Clare is an auto buy for me. I love her style of writing. I love the way she tells a story, and I'm excited to get into that. I also picked up The Rose Bargain. This is a YA, kind of like Bridgerton meets the fairy realm. Excited for that. And then every time I go to Barnes, I pick this book up, and then I put it down, I pick it up. Finally, I just decided, well, since I think this was probably the free one, it was the cheapest one. I picked up book one of The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle Jensen. I've heard so many things about this series, good things, so I picked that up as well. So kind of an unintended book haul. I really only wanted Sunrise on the Reaping. That was all I really wanted, but we were in Hanover, and you know, it's a drive, so I'm gonna take advantage. But that's it. That's my book haul. That's a lot of books for March. But taking off the fact that, you know, my birthday present from Mr. Froggett was a book haul, they kind of don't count. And then my youngest son and his wife were up last night. They brought me a Barnes & Noble gift card. So I'll be saving that for April because there's a couple of new releases that I want to pick up. And so I'll save that for those. I'll make a bookstore trip probably in the next week or so. I definitely want to pick up the second book after this one. So it takes place in the same world, but it follows, I think, this main character's sister, and that is called Enchantra. And I've been really looking forward to that one. That one comes out next Tuesday, actually. And I've looked at I keep track of anticipated releases in my book journal, and that's all I have written down for April is Enchantra. So yeah, so I might just pick up that one and then maybe save the rest of the gift card for May. There are 2 coming out in May that I want to pick up. So we'll see. I don't know. I get into the bookstore and I lose all my senses. I love owning physical books. I've always been a bookworm, book dragon. Hello, Toothless. This was another birthday gift from Mr. Frog. I told him I wanted a stuffed dragon for my craft room, and he actually took me to Build-A-Bear and made me build this myself, which was cute and sweet. But yeah, so I've always loved books from a child, and I've always loved a physical book. I enjoy my Kindle. I've had a Kindle since they were invented. I've had a Kindle since the very first model of Kindle, and it's great for traveling because I can take as many books as I want on a trip in a tiny little package. It was great when we went to Scotland because I could, you know, I could take all the books that I wanted to take, and if I finished them, all I had to do was go online, pick my next book, and it instantly downloaded. So I love my Kindle. And I love, you know, I love listening to the audiobooks. I get a lot of work done when I'm listening, and so I get to read and work at the same time, which is kind of like best of both worlds. So I love all 3 ways to consume books, but I will always, always, always own physical books. Nobody can take these away from me. Nobody can alter these. They're mine forever. So, love building my library. Yeah, I've got bookshelves just scattered all throughout the house. Anyway, at this point, I'm rambling. I did want to say, in closing, I'm going to start working on an Ask Me Anything video. That way I have that ready to go for like a busy week if we're getting ready for a show and I don't have time to podcast. Or while we're at a show, that one might publish. So if there's anything you want to know, now's your chance. Put your question in the comments, and I'll be collecting questions. I'm going to put a question box up on our Instagram as well. But if there's something you want to know about the business, about dyeing yarn, about us personally, I will answer any question that I feel comfortable answering. So leave me a question if you want to know something. I'm gonna pop them all in a spreadsheet and you know, combine the ones that are similar, and I'm gonna start working on an Ask Me Anything video. So other than that, tell me what you're making. What have you been working on? Whatever your craft may be. Knitting, crochet, spinning, weaving. Are you a card maker? Are you a painter? Tell me what you're working on. Also, what are you reading? Do you have any good book recommendations? I was so excited to see that book recommendation and find it at the store and pick it up. I read the back and I was like, yes, this sounds intriguing. It is young adult, The Bone Witch, and there are 2 more. So if I really like the first one, I will pick up the other 2. And are you reading our April book with us? There was a little bit of a chat going on last night in the Discord. That is where we chat about our books every month and also other books that we're reading. And we had a little chat going on late last night about the book and, you know, what's going on, because what was described on the blurb has not been addressed in the book. And it's like the first thing that happens in the book. And I don't think it's anything. No, it's not. It's right. It's the first line. When Ophelia discovers her mother brutally murdered, there's no time to grieve. So one of the questions in the chat last night was, have we found out who or why her mother was brutally murdered? I haven't. I'm on to chapter 18 and it has not been addressed. So I'm guessing I'm hoping it will be addressed at some point further on in the book. But anyway, Discord's always linked below. If you want to join us there, we share our knitting, we share our books. It's just a great place to be. It's free to join. I don't have it behind a paywall, and I always link it below. And I think that is it. I didn't think it was going to be this chatty, but apparently I'm chatty this week. So thank you for joining me in this little bit of a new setting. Like I said, we moved some things around, and the sleeper sofa that used to be in my office is now in the craft room. There used to be a giant egg chair here, and it just was too big. And the sleeper sofa didn't fit in my office when we needed to open it. I would have to rearrange my entire office, which was kind of a pain. So the egg chair is now on the front porch. The sleeper sofa's in here, and yeah, it's quite cozy. So thank you so much for joining me this week. Just a reminder to take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Come join me next week, right back here, same time, same place. And until then, I will see you all next week. Happy making. Bye.